Let's talk about this trade that I took this morning. Today is Thursday, October 9th, and I know my chart looks a little bit crazy right now with all of these lines, but I promise they make sense, and I'm going to walk you through what I was looking at and why I took this trade. So yesterday we had the Fed meeting minutes. I don't take trades when there's anything FOMC or anything like that. I don't like the volatility, even though this would have been a really nice move to the upside. So if you did catch this move, good for you. I did not take this trade. But the anticipation of additional rate cuts later in the year triggered this really big move to the upside. This is a pretty exhausted move towards the top here. You can tell it was starting to lose momentum. And then in the overnight session, price started to consolidate and almost formed like a bull flag with this upper line up here and this lower line right here. So it started to form like a little flag, but it failed to break up. It actually broke to the downside. And then if you look right here, you have this little trend line right here. So price started to consolidate nicely and it formed this wedge on top of that, which price broke to the downside outside of the wedge and it rejected the bull flag. So I didn't get in here. So this is the 8:30 a.m. Central Time candle. So this is the New York session open. I did not take my entry here, but I did get in on this next candle. It did retest. If you look, it pulled all the way back up to the break of this wedge. It retested this area. And when I saw price start to reject it and push it back down, I did go ahead and enter on this candle and I held the trade for about an hour. I closed it here on this green candle here. So I was going to hold it longer. My target was actually down here towards the sun, and it did end up breaking down to that level, but I did not like how quickly this green candle was starting to form, so I did manually close my trade right about here at this 25,207. I captured about a 1.5 to 1. Obviously, I like to get a 2 to 1 or 3 to 1 if possible, but sometimes that just doesn't happen. I will say that I wanted to take this gold trade. So if anybody took this gold trade this morning, like, good for you. This was the golden setup of the day. So the reason I didn't get in on this, I was looking for price to pull back a little bit because this is a really big candle, and to be pretty true to form, you would have had to have put your stop above here, which would have been about a 27-point risk on this gold trade, which was a pretty high risk. It just is what it is. So you just move on to the next one. So this was a trade that I took today. Here are my stats for October. I've made 226.5 points, 100% win rate. I've only placed 2 trades. Both were winners, and these are both NASDAQ trades. So 74 points per contract on the NASDAQ. So anyway, guys, I hope you like these types of videos. If you want to see more, make